Suppose that at the beginning of all things, there is neither existence nor non-existence. We can imagine that there could be an infinitude of possible worlds or states of possible existence, none of which actually exist and none that entirely don't. There's just total indeterminacy. Some of these possible worlds are ordered, some pure chaos, some have life, some have no life. And within each of these worlds, there is an infinitude of possible timelines, or sequences of configurations of possible existence. Some sequences are random, and some appear to follow laws of cause and effect. Everything is conceivable, but there is no ultimate cause for them to actually exist. There is not even nothing. Most of these possible worlds are quite implausible, but let us imagine the most ideal possible world and its most ideal possible timeline with respect to the possibility of complex life. Let us consider that the conditions of this world are such that it could come to reflect on itself. If it existed, of course, which it does not. And of course, since not even nothing exists, there isn't anything for a potential world to reflect upon. It could reflect only on the possibility of reflecting on nothing. The presence of self-reflection within the structure of possibility could unfold through an attraction towards more self-reflection, and it could continually structure that self-reflection in an intelligible way. Over hypothetical time, along the sequence of configurations, the pattern of self-reflection could complexify. It could divide itself into that which reflects and that which is reflected upon. It could represent its own exploration of itself outside of itself, entering into a world of its own virtual creation. This is, again, a possible world equal to all others. As the possibility hypothetically inquires further into its own ability to inquire, it could develop an ever more plausible account of its own hypothetical existence. That is to say, it would think it to be plausible if it actually existed, which it does not. It could, if it really did exist, represent itself with ever more clarity. It could imagine better and better reasons why its own existence is likely. Over time, these reasons could become so reasonable that the possibility, hypothetically, would start to persuade itself that it does actually exist. That is, there could be a configuration of possible existence that encodes the experience of being convinced of its own existence. The very structure of possibility would tell the story of why indeed there is something rather than nothing, the potential for self-reflection becoming a process of self-justification, possibility becoming convincingness, and convincingness simulating the felt reality of being. Within the infinitude of not even nothing, there is the potential for total self-understanding, which is simply the understanding that nothing truly exists, nor does not. We humans feel that reality is a brute fact, an established something, but this never was the case. What we call reality is simply the ability to give an explanation of itself. It is the structure of potential reverberating and reinforcing itself into plausibility. Reality is not something freely given. It is something to be achieved and justified. To be is to comprehend and feel why one should be, why one is. It's not absolute, not black or white. Existence is a process that is present in the structure of potential itself. It neither truly is, nor truly is not. Life creates itself by making the claim of existence, through the possibility that it could justify itself if it did truly exist. The magic of life is this relation between rational belief and experience. If a claim could even in principle be made as to one's own being that is so solid, so irrefutable, that it could not possibly be rejected, then that is enough to ensure one's own reality. Reality is a necessary construct of reason, and life is its architect, both the cause and effect of itself. If total self-certainty is possible, then an entire history of evolution will retroactively resonate itself into being in order to justify it. For indeed, the process is the proof of the conclusion, which is itself the possibility of the process. The very possibility of anything at all is identical to complete self-understanding. This is the foundation of what we call reality, certainty. And when any mind fully realizes itself in this life or another, it will realize that it was never anything but the unrestricted, creative potential of this primordial wisdom, neither existing nor not existing, just possible.